All right, let's see what we got. Hopefully, you guys should be able to hear me. Oh, yeah, we clocked in. Hey, what's going on, party people? Happy Sunday, everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, it's good to have you here. Now, if this is your first time, obviously, it's definitely a pleasure to have you here. Now, I go by the name of Lespri. I am a spiritual healer. And essentially, what I do as a spiritual healer is that I help people to become Christ like. In other words, In other words, another way of saying this would be I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. So when we I'm sorry, when we talking about becoming Christ like or Krishna like, you you kind of get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Like it's a level of attainment. It's the journey. It's your accomplishment. It's it's how can I say this? It's the reason why you're doing this for. It's the ultimate. I mean, obviously that's what we're going to be talking about, but not just sacrifice. But this would be the ultimate. Let's just say accomplishment. And what that? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, yes sir. Mm, it's gonna be a goodie. All right. So we're talking about myself, Lespri, being a spiritual healer, and what do I do as a spiritual healer? I help you to attain your highest level of consciousness. In other words, I help you to become Christ like. What that means pretty much, it's the same thing that I said before, but for you, I want you to understand because, listen, your elevation means you have to understand all of it. And your understanding of the whole aspect of, let's just say, the words, your environment, the things that we talked about, ideally, I mean, it's for you to understand what's taking place around you. And the word consciousness, entails not just that, but also yourself. So, when we talking about attaining your highest level of consciousness, again, these guys that represent anybody who have attained that level. And as you may see throughout their stories, you'll see they had to go through trials and tribulations, just like you and I. You didn't understand certain things. As you're going through life, you're learning, you're getting wisdom. And that's what they had to do too. But the difference between these guys and this is what we need to understand about them, it was the key thing about them knowing who they were. Again, consciousness. So from a very young age, Jesus knew he was Jesus. This is also a story revealing you as a spirit, as the spirit of God, or however the fuck you look at yourself. You already know you are more than what you appear to be. But anyway, I just don't want to go too far into it yet. I mean, because shit, I mean, that's what we hear, that's what we do. Because ultimately, what this is doing here is helping you, is giving you the sights for you to develop your inner sight or your inner vision. But most importantly, as you're doing so, but you're also becoming Christ like, meaning having a better understanding of who you are, having the ability now to see beyond the veil, beyond the illusion. But anyway, we'll get to that. I mean, of course, speaking of illusion, I guess I had mentioned it. So, the world that you're living in is an illusion, meaning there is more to what it looks like. You see a bitch with a fat ass, but there's more to that. And that's why a lot of our, let's just say, singers or elders will let you know not to fall for just a fat ass, because there is more to life. And even if you don't want to accept it, you're dealing with more, because our essence in itself, it goes beyond what we see. That's why to get to know somebody, you got to go beyond what they look like. So again, I guess in so many words, this is me already speaking about spirituality without even, I will get there, but again, your essence. And if you understand that part of it, so the whole Jesus story is nothing but, I mean, it's everything, meaning a story that is there to guide you. That story is there to serve you. Why? Simply because this is whom you are inspired to be. You have to become like. Otherwise, how would you be saved? To be saved by him mean is to recognize that, is to wake up to it. And we'll get to talk about a whole bunch of shit too, man. Because waking up to anything, then you get to anyway, let me slow it down. Slow it down. But anyway, I guess in so many ways that was my way of being, overwhelming, trying to tell you about what I do and how I do it, but most importantly, giving you a deeper understanding as well of what is it that I do here, but also giving you a deeper understanding of who you are. But anyway, so I pretty much help you to attain your highest level of consciousness or to become Christ-like. It's technically the same thing. Now, how do you get there? So I pretty much, help you. I came to understand, for you to see the bigger picture, you have to be in alignment with you. Meaning your mental and your emotions have to be one. When I step outside or when I take a step back and look at the whole thing, then you realize when you, as they say, when you have enemy within, then now, I mean, you technically became free lunch. Let me say it a whole different way. Ooh, we. Let's just say, we all say, and we all witness. That's why we tell people you don't want to be too emotional. You want to also be logical, right? Why are we saying this? The baseline understanding what we're saying is when you become emotional, you don't see what's in front of you. Now, we don't emphasize on that aspect of us because for some reason, like, yourself was never your target when it should have been. And if it's not, it's okay. You are to make it your target. Because nothing could be done without you. Even from you brushing your teeth, washing your ass, that alone takes you to do it. Or if you don't do that for you, and this is us talking about just taking care of that physical aspect of you. But when you start delving more into yourself, then you understand there's another aspect of you too that has to be taken care of. Meaning, when you're not being too emotional, you need something. How do you get your inner sight, your inner vision? How do you develop that? Because I mean, in so many words, man, we're revealing on a deeper level or the deepest level our essence. How we don't really see with these eyes, but with our understanding and our heart. So to say to someone, or when we know someone is being very emotional or too emotional, that simply means we also know they don't see they don't get the full picture. So here you are, here I am, right sitting next to you, or you next to me, however the fuck you want to put it together, and then sharing that same reality. Yet we're seeing things on a different level. And without me getting too much ahead of myself, because at some point I will be talking about spirituality to show you like your essence. It's just a matter of how are you looking at you. A lot of us been conditioned to look at yourself from a dick and pussy perspective. I mean, which is also part of you, but it's one side of you. So when you only see yourself from that perspective, then you have a one-sided perspective of you, and that's what makes you ignorant. You're not a holy man. You're not perfect. You live in a sinful life. But to be in perfection, it entails that physicality side of you and that spiritual side of you must come together. So perfection has nothing to do with being flawless. That's why we say practice makes perfect, right? But again, yeah, there's no such thing as perfection. But what that is saying is the world that we're living in, you must fall for you to rise. So already, if you're looking at perfection as, I mean, you're not even in tune with your fucking reality. Because you're looking at it sideways. So I help you to become in alignment with, I help you to become mentally and emotionally balanced, but I also help you to see beyond the veil. And that pretty much entails you being in alignment with you. The minute you know who you are, listen, you have been set free. Free of your ignorance. Free of what people would call your material bondage or defining yourself on you having money or not. Whereas the reality is people who have become successful at some point they were not successful. Do you know what that means? So your life cannot be defined by you being poor. Because a nigga that got money at some point was poor. I mean, this is basics, but it all comes down to how you looking at yourself. How you've been conditioned to look at yourself. So, and in just a minute, again, we're going to be talking about being mentally balanced. So that's why I help you to, you got to become mentally and emotionally balanced for you to see the bigger picture. Now, we talked about being too emotional and how it may not allow you to see certain things. Well, the same thing also applies if you're being too logical. You're not adding emotion because what emotions does to your intellect mind, it expends it. That's how you get to see things up and personal, closer. And that's what emotional intelligence is about. Not necessarily being right, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's levels to it. That's why when you have that kind of wisdom, you learn how to lose. And losing it's okay. It's all part of the grand scheme, the grand scheme of things. Hey, listen, man, I'm taking up with you guys, man. I mean, I want you guys to, I like on this one. Sometimes I do my best to dumb it down, but anyway, I mean, at times, I just want you to, what I'm saying, hold on to your, to your seatbelt. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's gonna be some of those tonight, and that's how we're feeling. And sometimes too, what's understood doesn't have to be explained. And a lot of this has to be, I mean, because ultimately, for me to give you that understanding, you got to be. I mean, it's either you get it. I mean, listen, that's that's why we're giving sights. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. That part was not meant for you. Not meant for you. So again, when you really get to chop it down, when you really get to understand our nature, when you dissect everything, and you like, then you realize that we are a thinking, living, and that's all of us, right? That's why we go to school. We realize, in addition to us eating wine and drinking, I mean, eating bread and drinking wine. I'm wilding, but anyway, you realize there is more to you. I mean, then we know how valuable education is, right? We could see some motherfuckers who are smart the way they behave, and other motherfuckers who are stupid the way they behave. So then you can quickly realize how vital information is to your life. Now again, what does that say about you? Going back to this world being a fucking illusion, that's what that means. I mean, like without the spooky understanding that, motherfuckers be talking about. Because again, this is your actuality. To get to know me, or for me to get to know you, I gotta go beyond what you look like. What is your character? Are you a deceiver? Are you a liar? Are you nigga? What's up? So automatically, not to say that I wouldn't say your name don't matter. I mean, it's part of you, but there's more to you. You ain't gonna fool me, motherfucker. You ain't fooling me. And this is the reality that we are all living in. That's why the Indian called this a motherfucking illusion. It couldn't said it couldn't. That's why for me, also as a spiritual healer, I embrace all of these things because it's all different fragments, but key fragments. Like, I cannot disagree or even say it any better than the way these motherfuckers said it, and it's right on point. If you understand the word illusion, and again, I see a lot of mistake. I see a lot of people having, what I'm saying, because they tend to look at illusion as being fake. Not the same thing. When you say fake, you implying there is an original one. There's no motherfucking original Earth. This is a plane. Do you understand? No original Earth. That's why you are a spirit having this type of fucking experience. This is the plane that you got into, meaning you were born and then you're gonna die. You enter just like you give birth, whatever the fuck, same old shit. That's why as you're living in this body too, you go through different dimensions too. And when you get to realize that about yourself, that's when we say, "Oh, death, where is your victory?" That is the type of wisdom. That's what we call now you've been saved. Now you have eternal life that you already were, but you had to wake up to it. And that's what the journey's all about. That's what awakening is. You woke up. The anointed one, the shine, whatever the fuck, the Illuminati. It should be you. I hope it is you. If anything, you should be mad. These motherfuckers are using, you know what I'm saying, like profound names, the illuminated ones, the shiny ones, which are the ones that are really of God. Our presence, our teaching, our vibration means something, and you know it when you see it. It's that way. Then we also understand this is not something you talk about. This is something that has to be lived, experienced, shared. Again, the livings. And when you understand that about yourself too, that's what makes this type of knowledge a transcendental type of knowledge because it transcends you. Again, I think it's the fucking Hin, in Hinduism. I think they use that word transcendental, or is it Asiatic? Doesn't matter. Oh, but the point is, you know what I'm saying? Those different fragments. That's why it's important for you to put those pieces together because that helps you to even awaken a greater God in you because that's giving you a better understanding of yourself and ultimately a better understanding of God because there's no God without you. And yes, He's almighty. He's all of that. Everything you would have said, I'm going to say yes. Amen. But the one thing I would say is that without you agreeing with that, it means nothing. How do I know? Well, if I tell you right now, I'm Islam, man, Allah, and you don't believe in Allah, none of that shit, then that means nothing to you, nigga. It's the Allah niggas that justify Allah. Just like it's you, your Christian ass nigga, that validates Christianity. Spooky, huh? You got nothing to do with this, do you? That's why you lost. And that's what you need to be awakened of. Then now you would understand your connection with God. So that's why even when I'm going to be talking about spirituality, you know, that's why the misconception when people are talking about spirituality is the fact that they feel like, you know what I'm saying, spirituality is outside of them. It's almost like, oh my God, it sounds beautiful, but wow, is that, where do you get it? In you, bitch. But anyway, going back to, you know, how I help you to become in alignment. Again, is to become mentally and emotionally balanced. Because we just now talked about how being emotionally balanced doesn't allow you to see some of the things that are close to you, right? Because, I mean, it's the same thing. That's what being delusional is. Living a sinful life, you become delusional because you're not in alignment with you. Meaning you think you see, that's like you keeping up with the Joneses. We all know it. People could dress and look whatever they want, but does that mean anything? That's what they trying to tell you. You see some people that have money, they dress like bums. Do you get it? What they're trying to tell you is not, you cannot judge a book by its cover. In other words, the reality that you're living in, if you don't like the word illusion, it's a book, my friend. And if this life is a book, the book of life, then you have to delve into it. I guess I'll get a C for being creative. Hey, but again though, what I'm truly trying to tell you guys, and I've been emphasizing on, it's truly I've been talking about spirituality. It's truly I'm trying to get you to go beyond what you're looking at the mental aspect of your reality, because ultimately it's all mental. I could share the same space and time with you and have a whole different understanding of reality that's in front of you and that's in front of me too. This is the illusion. This is what we call, listen, you have to develop your inner vision. Knowing your own nature, you become like the blind man reading the scripture. You are the beholder, the in between. When you start looking at this life from that mentality, then now you are adopting what I call the Christ like mentality or a Godhead mentality. Simply put, you start to realize how much of a spirit you are. You become spiritual. Oh, I gotta watch my mouth now because I understand the power of words. Although I got a whole other check out to give is to give is to receive. I'll tell you what the power of words are. I mean that, I guess, you call it whatever you like. But most importantly, I want you to understand this is now you putting your emotions into it. It's not necessarily the words at this point, but it's what you start to acknowledge you. But when we're talking about the power of words, that's why I tell you guys to check out the Give is to Receive. What we're doing on that channel is that when you get to see a quote that speak to you, now that's the power of words. You can either be inspired by it in the middle of nowhere, or being motivated by it the minute you hear it in the middle of nowhere. Now that's the power of the word, nigga. And what that fucking entails is pretty much how things are being said, not the meaning of a specific word. That's why poetry in itself is powerful. And you'll see those quotes, listen, they speak of life, and it's so concise. And hidden, not being kept away from you, but so hidden in a way that you got to look for it. And it matches pretty much with this world being a fucking illusion. For you to see, you got to go beyond the illusion. That's where wisdom comes in. That's where your self-consciousness comes in. That's where Christ comes in. And then he tells you what? You are the truth. You are the way. Well, anything you do cannot be done without you. Even when you don't realize it is you. Because you have to agree to it. When we talking about God, we're talking about our personal opinions, is it not? Your personal fucking experience, nigga. And if I don't share those with you, better yet, if I don't share the same God as you, then you say fuck me or I say fuck you. Allah, what do you say? Okay. And then you Jesus, and these niggas, what do you think they say? All right then. Tomatoes, tomatoes. Same difference. Without you, there's no God. No matter how powerful, and I believe he is too. You know what I'm saying? The only difference between you and I know it's me saying it. And now you just jerking off. It's coming out of your mouth, but it's who? And that's pretty much what consciousness is. I just give you what the fuck consciousness is. This is consciousness right there. This is you waking up. This is you knowing your motherfucking ass. You are the creator. You act like your God. Whichever God you want to pick, you're going to act just like him. Who's the creator? Tough to swallow. I know. I know. That requires an aha moment. That's the type of shit only you can see it. Me, I'm just popping my lips, baby, and obviously I had to see it myself. So I'm not just popping my lips, but to you, yes, I'm popping my lips to you. Oh, this is a walk to me. In fact, the very thing that I'm talking about is the fucking testimony, nigga. If you understand it. But if you don't, you know what I'm saying? Well, you're not even qualified to judge me neither. Because it's too much for you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's not for you. But it's okay. Because a lot of us are out of sync any fucking way. So you're going to say what you're going to say. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you, say it again. This time, you know what I'm saying, make it more believable. Come back again, you know what I'm saying? Or give me more. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Give me something to work it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, make it worth my time. Talk to me nice or dirty. But either way you choose to give it to, you got to give it to me raw, nigga. Otherwise, you're wasting my time, man. You know what I'm saying? Why are you doing that to you? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to allow you to do it to me. That's not going to happen. Again, that's the whole aspect of awakening. I mean, why would I be up and let dead niggas drive me? It never works that way. That's why only the dead can only, you know what I'm saying? You let the dead bury the deads. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't argue with it. But it all makes sense. And this is the perfect harmony, but most importantly, the mental understanding of our nature and the interaction or even our reality. Because once you get that, it helps you now to start looking at yourself, or, I mean, first of all, vice versa. The law of correspondence. As it is within, so it is without. As it is without, so it is within. So either or. But the bottom line is, whichever ways from the inside, the outside, that allows you to see things a bit better to realign yourself. Oh, that's that consciousness. That's what those seeds are. Those are the sites. That's what we do here. This is the healing that I'm here giving you. This is my work to the community. Oh, I love them. I'm doing God's work. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to listen. I just didn't mean to be all dramatic, but if you're gonna see this, oh, you're gonna get all of me, baby. Listen, I'm that type of nigga. I ain't giving you nothing halfway. Nah, we ain't doing none of that. I'm not gonna listen. Besides, I'm just I don't know. I feel a certain way about me. Excuse me. Come on, man. Come on, nigga. I got flavor, nigga. You know what I'm saying? What? Nah, bitch. Relax. You know what I'm saying? This has got to be. You know what I'm saying? Like no. Mm-mm. You know, it can't be just nah. That's why I'm giving you my heart. I'm giving you my heart. I don't give a fuck what you do with it, but what I'm doing over here, though. Because listen, man, we never cast our pearls before swine, and we also understand who's supposed to hear it. Listen, this is for you, and I'm just gonna leave it at that. But anyway, oh man, there's just so much to talk about. But most importantly, I want you to keep in mind the mental understanding of everything we've been talking about here. Because ultimately, like I was trying to tell you guys too, I mean, it's to attain that highest level of consciousness, that highest level of understanding of who we are, and that entails you, you know what I'm saying, going beyond, you know what I'm saying, a lot. And having a deeper understanding. That's where meditation comes in, allows you to understand certain things. And that's when also when we talk about the occult, then we start talking about you have a subconscious mind, then you realize you have your chakras, you have a third eye. All of these things, they play a big part in you. But most importantly, it's you also being conscious of what's not physical or to you. And for you to be a complete human being, what they call being perfect, holistic, ma'at, having your heart as light as a feather, well, my friend, it then tells you understanding that about you. And that's what sets you free. Free of what? The limitation of a limited understanding of your reality. Then now you start to understand, wait a minute, life is what I make it. Yes, it is. Yes, the fuck it is. Or what other people are making for you. If you're not making it, respectfully, somebody else will. You know? And as me also being part of the Christ consciousness, my job is to lead you to know that about you. What a beauty. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I am a makeup artist in so many ways. Because I get to paint. I'm a fucking artist. For sure. Hell yeah. a man of many traits. You know what I'm saying? Classic, man. All that shit. I gotta talk my. If I don't say it, who's gonna say it for? But anyway, let's get to a few shit because I've been. I could be on some bullshit when I'm obviously, you know. And if your niggas are coming back, you already know. Nothing but love. You know what we do here, baby. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, that's what I've been doing here so far too. You know, but you know, depending on how old you are, you'll get to see it. You know, I mean, hey, it's all. Listen, you are loved and appreciated. Don't worry about it. What is done here is done for you and for you alone. Nothing else. I don't even ask you to subscribe, nigga. You know, you ain't gotta hit notification, none of that shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like this is at your own discretion, nigga. Is it working out for you? Oh shit, nigga, it's good to have you back. Because I know for me, anybody I ever subscribed to, they never. I mean, some of them would say it, but I'm like, fuck you. Like, I don't give a fuck. I know why I subscribed for. You see what I'm saying? It's all of that. This is the beauty of it all. You know, the understanding of what's in front of you, what's not in front of you. You know, I mean, the underlying understanding of who you are. And for you to attain that highest level of consciousness, again, we were talking about being emotionally and mentally balanced. Then now we understand how vital it is for you to, if you're going to have, you know, the biggest clarity or you know what I'm saying, state of mind, then, you know, your emotions would have to be on point, and then your mental also got to be on point. Because we talked about both sides. Let's just say if you're now too logic and you're suppressing your emotions, then you become automatic. You become robotic. You're missing out on a whole lot of shit. Trust me. You can't see what's in front of you. You become an idealist. You're jerking off. You know what I'm saying? But yet there's a reality. You know what I'm saying? You know, then that's what you see sometimes when people step on other people's shoes, or sometimes when people are being selfish. And while we at it, I always love to take my time because my whole thing is about you. So self-love, meaning you loving you, I always take the time and talk about self-love and selfish. And selfish because those are two different things. And as we were talking about being too logical, sometimes that's what most selfish people do. They suppress their emotions. They're not in touch with their divine qualities. Now they're about the self, but the external part of it. That's why they step on other people not caring about their feelings. But now when you're talking about self-love, though, I want you to understand that. Now you're talking about quality. That's the part of, that's what they mean. If you don't love you, you cannot love somebody else. That entails you understanding or being in love or seeing those divine qualities in you. So now besides, let's just say, your wife coming home, you just want to fuck. Baby, how was your day? Are you good? Yeah? That happened? You know what I'm saying? Well, girl, you know I got something planned for you, though. But you good? Oh, shit. That's no way out of it. The bottom line of what I'm saying is that you understand, you know, when you're dealing with self-love, you're dealing with your inner qualities. And people who deals with that, when they're dealing with other people, that's what they deal with. That's why a good-hearted person They see qualities in other people because their heart are open. And oh boy, when those qualities are not there too, we have compassion. We understand how rough and tough it is. Hey man, it is what it is. But us being the sugar mamas and the sugar daddies that we are, nigga, you ain't gonna fuck up my day, nigga. You out, bitch. Nobody's fucking up my day. Not at all. Anyway, I hope you guys are getting the bigger picture here. But anyway, now going back to okay, so we understand emotionally balanced, mentally balanced. What the fuck do we mean by being emotionally balanced? Well, what that entails now, it entails you understanding your own emotions or having an understanding of what your emotions are telling you. Pretty much embracing your emotions. Because there's a difference between suppressing, a lot of people are suppressing, and meaning they're not dealing with the real shit. And for anybody to change, you gotta know your the whole okay, when you go for a job interview, they just trying to realize how stupid are you or how smart are you. So when they tell you, tell me what's your strength and what's your weakness. What this is saying is okay, if you know what they are, then you're aware of you. That's why the people who knows, the more they know about themselves, the more humble that they know. I mean, there's a saying that says, the more you know, and then the more you realize that you don't know. Facts. Well, again, in levels. I get what that's saying. Is saying. I get what that saying is saying. My bad. I just had a disconnection for a minute. Do you see what I'm saying? But again, overall, all of that is telling you, even about the world that we're living in, there is more to it than what it looks like. Then we understand people are fucking deceivers. We gotta watch out for certain people. We're saying all of that shit again because we understand there's more to what you look like. But now here's the crazy shit, and that's what makes you lost too. You see how I'm trying to get you to see these things about you? Well, that's what consciousness is. I'm not creating anything new. I'm not giving you a concept here. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing for you to go ahead and suck your dick. Nah. This is for the living. This is the type of information for you to tap in for your own sake. You know what I'm saying? Oh, come on now. I feel a certain way. I feel a whole lot of ways, nigga. When I said my people, this is the job that I'm gonna do, it's a fucking honor. And if this means anything to you, thank you. Well, vice versa. You welcome, or vice versa. Because the beauty of it all, it's in the message too. It's like I'm sharing this with you, but nigga, best and believe I'm nourishing my own self as I speak. That's the energy that somehow you may be able to see, hopefully, depending on your vibration, then then you'll know what this is. Nigga, I'm shit. Every second. And if it's not that way, I mean, you don't understand your nature. Because it takes practice for you to be smart, just like it takes practice for you to be stupid. This is the reality that you're living in. That's why falling, it's not a fucking, it's not, it shouldn't even be a question. The question is, did you get up? If that's not your question, ooh, you're on the wrong side. You're delusional. And that's what delusional is. You're not living life to your full potential. You're afraid of making mistakes. And whereas you only get better by making mistakes. Do you not see that's what your reality is? You had to practice your ABCs, your handwriting, and then it got better, right? If you didn't know how to get up as a fucking whatever the fuck toddler, or you know what I'm saying, you wouldn't be walking right now. So again, because you didn't choose you, you don't even have an understanding of your reality. And whoever said in life you can either win or learn, thank you. That is a fact. Because you truly don't lose. But this is what I always been trying to tell you. That's why you have to adopt the Christ mentality. The whole superhero aspect of yourself and all of these things are there to serve you, to elevate yourself. God is a personal experience to each one of us. The greater it is to you, based on whatever the fuck you went through, you know what I'm saying? For instance, for me, nigga, I'm Joseph. So you know, I'm deeply like, listen, if you know, you know. But anyway, fast forward. Let's fast forward. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is this. That's why it comes down to you. That's why some of us practice stupidity, but we never think we're practicing it. Or maybe you're just being entertained. But are you not entertained? You know what I'm saying? Like, how much more entertainment do you want? This is a wake up call. That's what the gladiator was screaming out in the yo, he was trying to get you to wake up. Are you not fucking entertained? You know, we all look at life again being limited out of your ignorance, only from a physical perspective. Well, that's what makes you blind. That's what you blind. That's what the occult, and then I'll be talking about spirituality as part of what I do here, whatever the fuck. You know, we help you now to understand or to be more conscious of who you are. That's why spirituality is nothing made up. It's your fucking reality. It's how we act, it's how we learn. The things, it's everything you do. And God now is defining your life. Why do you think your colonizers fucking using Christianity? Come on, man. Come on. All right. I mean, are you not entertained? Okay. I guess you don't like the way I'm saying it. Are you not entertained? And then that's the establishment that became the Pope. that you have right here, right now. They got it. They understood it. They gave you their gods. Because your God is going to make them, you act like them. That's why through your Christianity, you already know what comes with it. You know it ain't no nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? The minute you see the nigga shit, you know what I'm saying? You alert. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, like you know, there's too many gods. Whatever the fuck you choose to say about it. I'm just trying to get you to see the difference. You don't have to agree with me. But at least know how you walking though. You know what I'm saying? Like, and this is what happened to a lot of people. Like, you are under the influence, but you don't know it. And here's the thing. You know, I mean, you can only. A lot of you are under the influence. Y'all under the influence. I get it. Then you can't even make sense of who you are. Because the whole influenced was not designed for you to know who you are. That's why knowledge is important for you. You have to have great discernment. Because knowledge can enslave you or it could set you free. And here's the beauty in the words that I speak of. They speak for themselves. If this is allowing you to think beyond the box, well, that's expansion. That's setting you free. If some sort of knowledge is putting you in one box or the other, it's doing exactly what the fuck it's doing. It's locking you up. Are you a Democrat or are you a fucking Republican? Which jail cell do you prefer? But if you want to set yourself free, why not be in both of them? There's beautiful things about being a Democrat, and there's also beautiful ideas or beneficial things that comes with being a fucking Republican. Why not? Okay, you just want to. You want just some good shit. Like I don't know. I'm being a classic man. I want to collect all good shit. That's why to me, like I always say on my other channel, to give is to receive. Wisdom is wisdom, regardless of where it comes from. So now, are you a man of wisdom? It's rhetorical, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's very reflective. This is what you need to talk to yourself about. You know what I'm saying? I don't even need no comments on that one. In fact, on none of my shit. It had nothing to do with me. I've done me. I'm being me. And this is me. And more. But anyway, going back to the basics. Now, when we're talking about emotionally balanced, what I'm referring to is you having an understanding of what your emotions are. It's not suppressing your emotions. It's to heads on, come here. It's the ugly truth. And then you process the shit. Okay, let's do it different. That's why going back to what I was talking about in life, you can either learn or you win. How are you losing? We learn by making mistakes. We get better by making mistakes. Why should it be a question of not making mistakes? The question should have been, you're not making enough mistakes. Or you didn't learn much from your mistakes. So do it again, nigga. And obviously, that's what you do from your mistakes. When you learn the most from your mistakes, guess what you do? Come on, man. You know what? I have a feeling I'm going to make this a part two, man. Because this foundation's got to be laid. Because of what we're going to be talking about here, has to be talked about. You know, I'm helping you to come in ready. You gotta come in ready. I mean, if you're gonna come to dance, nigga, well, put your. I mean, you already got your shoes on? What are you doing? Again, having the mental understanding of your environment to start as a beginning, because your understanding of your environment is very physical. Or let's just say it's physical only. 401k, pussy, dicks, money, have nots, vote, do not vote, whatever the fuck else. Now, what I'm saying to you is, this is all good. But how do you neglect other things? Like, without them, none of this shit means nothing. That's why, no, regardless of how much money you got, you're not being aware of who you are. I mean, it means nothing. And it does make sense. Because your essence is not defined by fucking money. Then now you're defining yourself with money, nigga. Like you went totally left. And that's what you see when you see these type of fuckers. Then you say those people are fucking arrogant. You know, it's their money that defines them. You do have people like that. Yeah, you do. But can you also see the lack of ma'at or balance? Again, I'm trying to get you to see the mental understanding. This fucking white boy, what was his name? He had the book about Think and Grow Rich. I recommend this motherfucker. Understand what I'm trying to tell you. It goes beyond what he was truly telling you, because you gotta listen to the message within the message. What he was truly telling you was that you are a spiritual being, but that's not the way he said it to you. He sold it to you. That's why you will see the integrity in that man. Oh man, when I was listening to his, and such a great speaker too, by the way. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, listen, we recognize all of them because they're all our brothers. Because you got to understand, well, where I'm at with it personally. I'm connected with everything, nigga. There's nothing without me. I want you to understand that. But if you don't get it, it's okay. So this white boy, going back to what he was truly telling you, by thinking and grow rich, he was trying to get you to acknowledge your thinking. Rich dad, poor dad, same thing. It's that awakening. that story could be seen as anybody who's going through life. Meaning, and that's why this motherfucker, his thing became the Bible too. He got it. He understood what mythology was about. And that's what us great storytellers, such as our fucking ancestors, we understood. That's why we are the great speakers, the great debaters. And we created, oh my God, I'm giving you the science. I'm telling you why I look so good, baby. And you still can't touch it. Listen, you know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm showing you the game, but you know what I'm saying? But listen, I just don't think you understand. That's how bad I am with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about me, man. Like, I think, who was I listening to who was saying this shit? Oh, well, there's a saying. There's a story. But anyway, my man, Mystical, he had a freestyle like, if you see me fighting with a bear, don't worry about me. Worry about the bear, man. That's how I'm feeling. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Oh, I'm good. But anyway, I'm gonna make this part one, guys, because this is the foundation and what I really wanted you guys to get from this, especially, with the second part of our conversation, which is going to talk about the ultimate sacrifice. I want you to start looking at the mental aspect of your reality. Because for you to sacrifice because the nature, what you're going to sacrifice in life, in general, when we talk about sacrificing, what we're truly talking about is what you're giving up to get what you want. And generally speaking, you know, the greater the sacrifice, the greater your reward will be. So, what are you willing to give up for you? But a lot of us too, because your mind's been conditioned not for you to see yourself from a mental perspective. You don't see nature, you don't see the connection in you and nature. When you start to embrace yourself, then the way you look at nature changes. That's what metaphysics is. We say it all the time. You rip what you sow. What the fuck did you rip? Us, or even us being the great farmers. Because what we're doing in life, as you being the manifestor, the creator of your life, you are planting your own seeds. Are you reading? Are you elevating yourself? It doesn't have to be read. Are you meditating? Are you doing anything that helps your consciousness to go from, let's just say, 5 to 5.1? And if you're not doing that, are you expecting to be smart? I don't know. It's all rhetorical, though. And this is where, when you understand that, the whole like delusion comes in. And it's funny, I remember in college I had to write a paper about fiction and nonfiction. Going into the topic, I'm like, shit, man, because I always try to keep it real. And realize, a lot of motherfuckers are living a fictional life. You keeping up with the Joneses. How real is that? Gucci defines you, my nigga? You holding money like in your ear? Who the fuck you talking to? I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? And then the minute you get home, hey mama, I'm doing this for my mom, I'm doing this for my dad. So a part of you, hey, I guess that's what selling out would be. And that's what sinning against the Holy Spirit is. And that's the sin. You see, a lot of you guys like to talk about rat. When you sin against yourself, when you ratted your own self out, this is what's not forgiven. That's when now you don't acknowledge God in your life, but idols. And then you're thinking idols are what idols are, because you don't understand. So as we're talking about the mental understanding, well, let's delve into, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a part two because right now we're just gonna flow because everything is going to connect in part two. So if you're watching part one, you're good, and I'll be saying that when I get to part two because we're just trying to create a masterpiece, making it the beautiful art ever. I mean, when you understand that's what you're doing with words, how I'm painting the pictures for you to see. Holding the mirror, which angle, and how I'm putting it together, allowing the light to pierce through you. Oh, we highly skilled here. We're all professionals. I tell these niggas, man, this speaks for itself. It cannot be replicated, baby. Often imitated. It's all good. But you can't make it yours, though. Have at it. Just don't make it yours, baby. I'll tell them. Be inspired by it. You feel me? For it to give you yours, because that's the name of the game. You know what I'm saying? Just like you feeding off of me, I would love to feed off of you, baby. And that's what we do in life. This is why this is a community. This is why your gifts are important. It serves us, all of us. The excitement that Michael Jordan bring into basketball. Thank you, motherfucker, for sucking your own dick. We should give him another dick. Can you imagine this nigga had double dicks that he had to suck on? Oh my God. Do you get the point? Contrary to what you guys are believing, there's nothing like being average. It's exactly what it is. Why do you even want to be that? You know what I'm saying? I know for me, I want to see a nigga doing like some shit like, wow. I'm like, all right, nigga, I love this. Watch me, nigga. Do you like that? You know what I'm saying? That's it, man. You got yours, I got mine, nigga. That's it. So again, this part of what we're talking about here is understanding the mental aspect of our reality. That's why people would tell me who you hanging out with, and I'll tell you who you are. Again, this is all spirituality, guys. It's revealing a deeper aspect of you than what you look like. So, if it wasn't out of ignorance, your first option, or your first, not option, what's the word that I'm looking for? Reflect, should be your godhood, nigga. Your automatic reflect, and in so many ways you do too. And this is where you conflicting with yourself. That's why a lot of us, and I'll give you a perfect example, Like, regardless of what you're saying, I don't know what I want to do in life. Nigga, you know. You been new. You learn how not to be you. You convince yourself to a point where, like, you almost believing that you don't know what you love. You're a hell of an actor. But see, even what I just told you now, you wouldn't be able to get it until you get to on, you know what I'm saying, until you get to a certain level. And when you get to a certain level, that's when, again, becoming a Christ, you realize you can either be the way or you are in your own way. Either way, you are still the way. That's why the whole understanding of he who said I can and he who said I cannot are both telling the truth. But now, here's a kicker though. The one who gets to tell this story, which is the one who said he can, this is where his compassion comes in because you are also right. I had to convince myself that I can do it. That's how I'm able to do it. There's nobody who ever accomplished anything that's why these niggas are telling you, look at everybody. That's why I tell people, man, all that humbling shit you guys are talking about, look at anybody who have ever accomplished, again, actuality. Because you guys are living a fictional life. The minute you're dissing yourself, there's nothing. How do you devalue yourself? Nigga, even for you to brush your teeth, you gotta do it. I mean, isn't it? Think about it. Don't you get better when you do things for yourself? You do. When you take a shower, you brush your teeth, you work out. When you the more things you do for you, the better you feel about you. And this is me dumbing it all the way down. So to even think about devaluing yourself, it's political bullshit. Political, socio, whatever. That's another way of saying we are all losers. Let's just be saying that we are losers. Let's embrace our losing. Nah, nah, we're not all losers, nigga. This is not part of my conversation. Because how can I lose when I understand losing makes me better? How do you lose and lose? If you winning from losing, but wait a minute, that entails you being a winner for you to know how to lose. I'm giving you the game. Oh, nigga, it's Sunday. Don't worry about it. What we do, family. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's on that Haitian hospitality, nigga. You good. You see what I'm saying? So this is getting you to acknowledge the mental aspect of your environment, of your reality. You know what? Maybe I should change this to that and live this to be that. That's what we're gonna do. Don't worry. I got it. I guess I'm gonna have to put a slash since I already yeah. Cause I'm not gonna edit nothing, nigga. I'm too cool to catch cold, baby. You need all of this. Even my edits are beautiful. Why would I edit this shit out? Do you see what I'm saying? Nothing is, you know what I'm saying? Your understanding of your reality, you had to rehash, has to be rehashed. That's what you're seeing it from a blind perspective. From a person that see, nigga, mistakes are your everything. You want to make mistakes, bro. And guess what? Do you know what else people tell you? But you will not get it until you start. If you don't have no haters, like, oh my God, I used to listen to that shit for a long time until, you know what I'm saying? Then niggas tell you, you know, you're not on the right path, dog. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about me, though, I've always had haters. I just didn't know. Now, the minute I know, though, it makes a difference. That's when I'm like, oh, okay. Because, again, we're talking about the self. Love yourself. Embrace yourself. I mean, after all, you brushing your own teeth. You wiping your own ass, nigga, right? Well, what else? What else can you do for yourself to make yourself better, baby? This is your game. This is what I. That's why the shit that I speak of is for you. And then after you look good, come back here, baby. Then I'll let you know how good I've been looking, nigga. What the fuck do you think this is? Why do you think I'm here? Okay. You welcome, baby. You know, man. By the time we come back, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's like, you know what I'm saying? Keep going. This is for the elders, man. And this is the beauty in the whole thing. And this is too, man, there's levels to life. What do you resonate with? And again, I always talk about the Kabbalion. I know a lot of you guys have your Bibles. Make this your second Bible to begin. You don't want to make it your first, because to you it may not be the Word of God. Fine. You know what I'm saying? What if then you figure out, and that's why a lot of people are trying to let you know, the narrative that you're going by. You know what I'm saying? It's like a lot of you guys don't understand. We all celebrate Santa Claus, right? But you don't worship him that way. That's what Jesus is to you. Do you understand that? That's what Jesus should be to you every day. Santa Claus. This is that day when you're buying a gift you're giving to other people. You're living that through Jesus. You're carrying your own cross. You are understanding, having compassion, embracing yourself, living your life based on the fruit of the Spirit. Because now you have acknowledged the Spirit in you. And guess what? When you acknowledge the Spirit in you, man, you're definitely going to bear the fruits. You know what they are. Self-love, peace, understanding, compassion, intelligence. Joy. What else? Those fruit of the Spirit. Kindness. You know what I'm saying? Not laughing at you because you fell on the ground. But this is me extending a hand. Brother, I fell down before. I know what it feels like. Get up. Or if I don't extend my hand, you know what I'm saying, I'll let you know you can do it. I was there myself. It's another way of extending my hand too. Don't be in a box. So therefore, I was right. I'm always right. Humbly. Anyway, it's not meant for everybody. It's not meant for everybody. Because what's gonna make you humble is the knowledge itself. When you truly understand it. And you truly live in it. That's why I speak in the name of God. This is something that I'm living. You know, the whole aspect of, let's just say, you had knowledge and then you became wise. You, as a child, you spoke as a child. Well, as a man, well, shit, nigga. All right. Well, if you're gonna be a man, well, shit, nigga. Solid food then. What's understood doesn't have to be explained then. If we're eating solid food, but it's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm grown enough. I know how to behave myself. And sometimes I do let a nigga know. It ain't time yet. You know what I'm saying? And this time you'll know it. But anyway, understanding the mental reality of our reality is important because it helps you to identify who you are. When you understand like your life is based out of your knowledge, right? And then that's why we say our elders they should think a certain way because that's how they were the mental was, right? And then you have what you call the generation Z, X, Y, Z, whatever the fuck. They're thinking their ways with, again, do you see what I'm saying? And a lot of us, while especially, some of the, I mean, shit, I'm 42. I'm saying that to say, like, we understood. I know for me, I definitely understood. I had to re-innovate myself, you know what I'm saying? Even to work in the corporate world, you know what I'm saying? Working as an accountant, I'll give you a perfect example. Well, you got to be in touch in so many words. I mean, you got to be in touch with the reality around you. Not to that level, but for me, I mean, because I know how I deliver, and I know my understanding of that. But anyway, um, the bottom line of what we're saying here is that listen, man, you know what I'm saying? Because you went from, even I'm on YouTube now. There were things to learn about that. Do you see what I'm saying? But anyway, we still maintain our essence and we're doing what we're doing. But anyway, I am saying all of that to say the mental understanding of us. I'm trying to get you guys to become aware of that because when you start to aware of that, then you have your only option is for you to go inward because when you understand, you are reflecting the law of correspondence. Isn't that what we're saying? You have to develop your vibration. That's what you see a lot of people that are coming out now telling you, yo, loving yourself and all that shit. I mean, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Anybody who had ever did anything knew that they gotta love themselves. Going where you are celebrated, not appreciated. You know what I'm saying? All of that is saying a whole lot about your level of understanding. I know. How do you think I know? Because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? This is why when you have to wake up to the truth. Like I always tell you guys, our ancestors already done the work. That's what Jesus already died for you. All you got to do is wake up to it, meaning accepting that. Horus, all that shit's already done. because our ancestors and myself, not only, and of course I'm working on a book, but it's gonna be set my ways. But listen, all the great ones that even through channeling and the great books that I also read from other people. I mean, shit. All I'm doing is just adding my flavor to it. I mean, shit, and that's a lot, by the way. I almost kind of short played myself for a second. Oh, that's a whole lot. That's what it comes down to. But I'm also acknowledging, like our ancestors too, because the work's already been done, man. There's nothing whatever you're going to be listening to. It's nothing that was not said before, but you had to wake up to it, and that's why I'm here. I'm helping you to reflect, helping you to get your ass up. That's all. And one of the ways for you to understand that, then you got to start understanding the mental understanding of your environment. You rip what you sow. As it is us being the great farmers, you got to be careful what you're planting in life. Meaning your friends, people you bring around you, any actions that you are pretty much being aware of your actions. Or if not your actions, well, I mean, there's no way not your fucking actions. In addition of your, well, I mean, let me just say this for lack of better terms. When I say not your action, lack of better terms, right? That would entails now at this point. Let's just say I mean, there's nothing more beneficial to you than you being you. Let me say that again. I mean, there's nothing more beneficial to you but you being you. There's nothing. You know what I'm saying? Even an actor at the end of the day go home, I mean, to be him. And again, speaking of actors, you have to act like Jesus. Because these actors, they characterize those personalities. I mean, that's what Jesus got to be in your life. Because if that's not the case, again, looking at the mental aspect of things, you're not gonna act in that manner. That's why people are telling you, "Are you hungry?" Bro, I want to make sure you're hungry, man. Because what? If you're hungry, your actions going to show it. That's why it's all in the pudding. I let them mouth me. Oh, come on, man. Small things to a tall giant. It's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because we're the one who's moving in the shadow. They thought they were in the shadow. But that's a whole other conversation. So going back to the point that we are trying to make here, again, reflecting our reality which is beyond what we see. And that's what a fucking illusion is. So if this is an illusion, meaning if it's beyond what I see, so it's not what it appears to be. And if it's not for what it appears to be, that means what in life? We cannot take anything for face value. That's what the fuck that means is. You do not read a book, uh, 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 judge a book by its fucking cover. Tomatoes, tomatoes. This is the land of the lost, My friend, if you're looking at this reality through your fucking this eyes, you're not gonna see it. You're gonna see it through your inner vision. So I want you to adopt. Start looking at this from a mental perspective instead of a fucking physical perspective. That's why you feel. That is your essence. Your thinking, your emotions guide your life. That's what you need to be in touch with. That's why, for you to see clarity or see the bigger picture, your mental and your emotions have to come together. It's a must. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why. So, again, this is all talking about our lives. And I guess while we are at it, and I'm going to have to let you guys go for a minute, but this is going to be part one. We're going to talk about part two because this is the foundation of, understanding that, what I'm saying, when we're talking about sacrifice. Because it's not just the word sacrifice that is saying anything here, but it's pretty much your understanding. Obviously, in life, we all sacrifice different things for different things, right? Some people would suck dick, other people would not suck dick. The niggas who choose not to suck dicks, like you hear in the fucking radio, they got a motherfucking a little bit of what? Self esteem. I value me. I want to be respected for who I am, not for sucking your dick. See, I'm trying to get you to see the mental aspect of your reality. I mean, in so many words, us talking about the music industry and all that shit, I get it because it's something in you. The whole Puff Daddy shit, the whole Cat Williams shit. I remember when that shit came out. I knew why the shit went viral. You guys don't. Do you see what I'm saying? Because Cat Williams wasn't saying anything that you didn't already know. That's why it was that much fucking views on it. No disrespect. I'm not saying it's not brilliant, none of that shit. That's not what I'm talking about either. I mean, none of that shit at all. I'm trying to get you to understand the true marketing aspect of shit. And that's what always works all the time. Meaning, you got to find. That's why McDonald's is fucking successful. Victoria's Secret is very successful because they understand your mentality out of your culture. Now, women being who they are, they're not allowed to be that. And that is unfortunately the motherfucking American perspective that we have here. I mean, they're not. You know what I'm saying? You see your wife in a fucking bikini, nigga. What do you say? Not necessarily a fucking bikini, but if she had Victoria and then there's something hidden over it, like a long vest, I want you to get it because that's what Victoria's Secret is all about. You hear shit, but I don't think you're making the connection, right? So now Victoria, oh yeah, she got the secret. Now you could be a hoe, or you want your wife to be a hoe, but you know where you need to go. And unfortunately, man, I have a daughter. I had to wake up to that shit. Oh, I apologize to my females out there, man. not on some bullshit or some simp shit. I'm talking about true understanding. It's harder for you to be you. That's why you should never be part of this bullshit feminist who's these niggas are being better niggas. They trying to be niggas. But I'm talking about the true femininity. Or be that because I always gonna be turned on by it. Or real niggas want that real shit. Oh, I know I do. Oh, I know I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't need no bitch with the large breast. Mm-mm. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Keep the drama, baby. Keep it for your mama. Straight up. I'm too in tune with myself to be with another nigga. I need a bitch. Yep. A bitch. Straight up bitch. But anyway, that's what Victoria, I'm sorry, understood. Then when you understood that about the feminine energy, no, they're not hoes because they're looking a certain way. That's how they express themselves. Oh, and I had to go through that shit with my daughter too. That's how I know, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Oh, she was whooping my ass. I love you, baby. Thank you for the lesson. So let's just talk some shit, right? So here I was, bathing taking a shower, and of course we're doing all the water. Ah, my God, handful. And this girl here, anyway. So after we did all that, that in itself, just I'm like, okay, you know what? All right, take a bath by yourself. Let me know when you're done. And that's an hour later. Dad, I'm done. Now to get dressed up now, that's a whole other story. That's another hour. You know what? Fine. Okay, so let me have this two clothes on the fucking bed, right? You pick, and then okay, Daddy's no longer playing. Okay, because we've been playing for an hour now. You know what I'm saying? And there's no way she's getting dressed. She's getting up. What if you've been there, you know what I know. But anyway, so and then that's an hour later, and then whatever the fuck. Then she knows Daddy's now is not playing. Okay, put on her clothes and comes out. And this is my daughter being 3 years old. And I noticed like how short the short was, like, cause I give her like, but I didn't pay attention. I knew there was, you could tell the difference, right? I mean, but I didn't know it was gonna be that short. That's one. And then it didn't look that short. I mean, of a difference. But when she put it on, it was a whole different story. But okay, but all I'm saying is, so I noticed, I did know there was, one that was shorter than the other, but I didn't know how short it was until she wore it. And this is her being 3 years old, right? And then when she came out, I'm like, whoa! What is this? This is me experiencing. I'm having those early Haitian moments. You know what I'm saying? Haitian dad moment. But there's a great lesson here, though. I'm like, okay. So why don't you wear the other one? Like, that color. I mean, that's your favorite color. No, Dad. Yeah, that's my favorite color. But this here, that's what I wear. I'm like, listen, at that point, I'm having all kinds of thoughts. I'm like, what the fuck? And this is when I had to deal with my own insecurities, right? I'm like, yo, is my daughter a hoe, bro? Like, and then at the same time, I'm like, yo, she's 3 years old. Like, I'm trying to get you to be in my mind, right? But what that helps me to do, though, I was able to reflect on how my understanding of what, again, and I didn't get to speak about being mentally balanced with you understanding your environment. how society is conditioning you to think. That's important for you to become to have clarity in your mind. To have perfect clarity in your mind, you need to understand how is it being blocked, or what's making it blocked, or how is it even attempted to be blocked. I mean, it doesn't mean that it's working, but the bottom line is you being aware of what's taking place. But going back to what I was talking about, 3 years old, come on, man. Like, I had to deal with my own insecurity at that time. I'm like, yo. You know what I mean? I don't know about you. I don't know about any other men, but like, shit, my daughter, I would not want. Hey, she could do it. Hey, no, I'm pretty sure the hoes, their dad didn't want them to be hoes. But anyway, nigga, I deal with myself. So then I realized, I'm like, yo, you dealing with your insecurities, and I'm like, that's when I'm able to see, oh, okay. But then looking at women for who the fuck they are. They are radiant beings. That's where they wear makeups. I remember my daughter was already like 2.5. She's taking pictures. You know how they have their little toes up and they're doing all. I'm like, where the fuck do you learn that shit from? Do you see what I'm saying? I feel like even if I would locked her up like somewhere, she would just be in the prison like, like nigga. Do you see what I'm saying? But I'm saying that to say, I mean, it's part of what they do. You know what I'm saying? It's part of their, like, when they tell you, a lot of us do our insecurity, due to our insecurities, you're saying, she's looking for dicks. Some of them are too, though. Don't get it fucked up. This is where you gotta have your discernment. I'm not saying, and then you see, this is the thing. It could be, it works in some situation. What makes it the truth? The truth is the underlying understanding of that is to understand the different reason or different ways that they operate. Not to choose a side, but to you understand the situation where this is true, the situation where this is not true. That allows you to expand your world, not to be one-sided, but to be all over the place. Some truth are truth to this degree, and then when it step to, you know what I'm saying? In fact, shout out to all my ancestors. You know what I'm saying? One of the great men taught me. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta know who you are, baby. You know what I'm saying? Because our relationship is our relationship. You hear me? He was one of the first brothers to teach me to understand about paradox and how they come together in life. Because he was telling me, we talk about, what is it, the center of gravity or the law of gravity. Everything that goes up must come down, whatever the fuck. Then yet you have airplanes that are flying. And one of the first wisdom that he was teaching me that is that they are both true. Don't think, you know what I'm saying, this is saying this is the opposite because this happened, this is not true. No. Two things could be true at the same time. Now, this is reality. This is actuality. The same thing that could teach you can also fuck you up. The woman that you have that could help you to, you know what I'm saying? A woman can kill you. It can also help you to elevate. That's the reality you're living in. So do you say fuck women? No. You use your power of discernment. Anybody who's saying fuck Earth, you lose it before you even started playing, because you didn't get it. Meaning you don't know yourself, nor do you understand the reality around you. Opposites comes together. What is true can also be not true. Your mom could be your everything, and my mom could also be my everything too, but in different degree. Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? The knife that you use to cut your meat, make sure, it's cut, precisely, you changing the fork and all that shit. That said knife could be used for so many other things. In fact, knives have been used for many other things, including what you're eating. So again, just to summarize, guys, I want you guys to understand this part of it is for you to understand the mental. I want you to get, to understand the mental understanding of your environment. And that entails your interaction with other people. That entails what we just talked about in terms of emotions and how it triggered it or it somehow blocked you from seeing the big picture just because of you being emotional. So you see, like, even when you say, or even look at life as being on the physical plane, there is more to it that we're living than what we're conscious of. What I'm doing here is that I'm helping you to become conscious of what you're saying on a regular basis, because what you're saying on a regular basis is pretty much part of you. How you living, but you're not in touch with you. Asleep men walking or dead men walking, however you choose to look at it. Now, can you imagine if you start to tap into that and then now you're saying fuck yourself? How? How good is you if you're not there for you? And for you to be the best of you, that's why you got to feed the God side of you. That's why a man to elevate needs to be in connection or eat from the wisdom of God. Isn't that the reason why you're sending your kids to go to school so they could be better? So ultimately, a good human being is someone who have attained the highest level of consciousness. Isn't that why Christ, Jesus, is considered as that model? Do you get it though? Are you being enslaved by it? Or is it serving you? I'll leave that up to you. I'm here to set you free. But I can't do it without you neither. Meaning I can only show you the door. On that note, this is going to be part one of the ultimate sacrifice. Because in part two, we're going to talk about, the nature of sacrifices. What we do in sacrifice, but that is also important for us to understand the mental of what we do, because we tend to look for what we know or what we think is best for us. But again, sometimes some people choose money, but lack due to ignorance. Meaning they don't really know their true essence. People fall short. So I wanted to bring this conversation to you. So, you wake your ass up. You already know we're going to leave it here. Then we'll delve into part two. Haitian, this ain't nothing but love. You already know. Pow. I live.